Welcome back to the Guilty Parent Club series, a series designed to give you evidence-based information to help you trust yourself more as a parent and escape all that pressure and confusion out there, as well as giving you a structured step-by-step toolkit to feel more confident and regulated and less reactive and self-doubtful, even when the kids are being tricky. I'm Dr. Jo Muller, and in the last episode, we heard about how having a better sense of what our values are as a parent, but also our identity as a person, can help us to have a shared sense of meaning and direction in our family. We thought about how this can sometimes look different to what we expected, and that's okay. Having realistic expectations and an ability to be accepting and kind to ourselves immediately grounds us and helps us keep our threat mode switched off, meaning we can better connect with our kids and be ourselves. And so finally, we can discuss our last parent P key, the physical support key, and how this fits into our framework. It's last, but it's certainly not least. And if there's one thing I want to drive home, it's that no one is meant to parent in isolation. We often hear it takes a village to raise a child, but for many of us, that village feels more like a myth than a reality. With childcare costs through the roof, family often miles away, and an ever-increasing mental load, it's hardly surprising that so many parents feel completely overwhelmed or even burnt out. And of course, we're going to be more reactive to our kids if we're trying to handle all of this alone. But then we blame ourselves, even though it's not our fault. The parent physical support key is about trying to lighten this load where we can. We explore how to get more of the right kind of support around us, to try to shift from feeling like we're just about managing to better setting ourselves up to succeed where we can. We cover 3 big ideas here, and you can see more about this in your workbook. The link is in the show notes. The first is about how to actually ask for help. It sounds simple, but most of us aren't exactly naturals at it. So we look at different communication styles to figure out which ones we default to the most, which are the most unhelpful, and which tend to get the best results. I know how helpful it can be to have a script or a series of clear steps when you're trying to express your needs without things ending in an argument. So we walk through a practical structure to get better support from the people around you. The steps include regulating ourselves and setting our intention for the conversation, using I statements, stating our needs and encouraging the other person, and then connecting and listening to what they have to say. For a deeper dive in how to use these steps, and of course we do a much deeper dive into this in the full Guilty Parent Club. Secondly, we dig into why accepting help can actually be even harder than asking for it in the first place. Maybe you're a bit of a perfectionist, maybe letting go of control makes you feel nervous or uncomfortable. We tackle the stories that we tell ourselves about needing to do it all and start normalizing vulnerability for ourselves as well as those around us. And third, we move on to actually making the most of the support networks that we have. I share a simple but very effective hack called the 5 Ds. That's diarize, delegate, do, delete, and done to help us handle our endless to-do lists and to reduce that nagging sense of overwhelm that can drag us into being irritable with our kids. We also explore how we can build up and map out a network that works for you, from letting go of perhaps relationships that don't work to rekindling old friendships, piecing together new connections both online and in the real world. So to sum up, the parent physical support key is about building your support system, maximizing the support that we can access to feel a bit more looked after, so that we have the resources to help us look after everyone else. It's about acknowledging that there's no way of breaking these cycles of reactivity, self-doubt, and guilt on our own. We have to do this as part of a system with other people. And even just by being here and listening to this series, I hope that you are starting to feel a bit less alone. As part of the Guilty Parent Club, we have an online community, and if you join the live coaching element, of course, you get the maximum benefit of hearing that you aren't the only one. Guilt and shame start to break down straight away when parents hear stories from other parents, and so this element of physical support really is embedded into the Guilty Parent Club. So, that's all of the 6 parent P keys. In the podcasts so far, we've heard about why it's not our fault that we end up in a threat mode when parenting, and how this can affect our ability to parent how we want to. We can doubt how we're handling things as parents. We can feel suddenly angry. We find ourselves reacting in ways that we don't like. Then we feel guilty about it, and then self-criticism keeps our threat mode and this whole cycle going. Our needs go unmet in multiple ways, which keeps us on a hair trigger. And patterns from the past also trip us up. None of this is our fault, but the 6 parent P keys break down each puzzle piece and show us practical, step-by-step ways to break this cycle, to soothe our nervous system and reconnect with the parent that we want to be. So, just as a little recap, we have the parent perspective key, which helps you to build awareness of your own thoughts and emotions in stressful moments so that you have more chance to respond rather than reacting to your child. The parent playfulness key helps you to understand and then prioritize your own needs so that you have the energy and the regulation to parent how you want to. The parent imperfection key is about embracing the reality that perfection in parenting doesn't exist, and it's not even helpful, and helps you learn how to practice greater self-compassion when things don't go as planned. The parent predictability key helps you to recognize and anticipate your common parenting triggers, to reduce reactivity, but also to help you plan ahead. And the parent power key is about connecting with your values, strengths, and identity to create a sense of direction and purpose, both in your parenting and family life, but also for you as a person, focusing on what really matters. And finally, the parent physical support key that we've just heard about helps you to realize we can't do this alone. It helps you to find ways to build and better use the support systems around you so that you are less alone in managing the demands of parenting. We can't just ditch the guilt, but what we can do is harness the power of psychology to make sustainable, actionable changes for us and our kids. This isn't about a perfect way of parenting. This is about feeling more regulated so that we can actually get on with parenting in the way that we want to. And of course, you can see a summary of all of this in your workbook, so don't forget to check the show notes. Thank you so much for joining me. Do tune in to the next episodes where we're going to hear how each of these 6 keys can help us help our kids too. I'll see you there. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. If this episode resonated for you, I would love you to join us in the Guilty Parent Club. As a member of the club, you'll gain access to exclusive private podcasts and workbooks providing deeper dives into these topics, taking you step by step through the 6 P key framework, and they're packed with practical tools that you can apply straight away. For more details, head over to drjoethepsychologist.com/Guilty Parent Club. See you there.